Hey guys, Crib Line Way back. I'm Aaron.
I'm Melanie.
And we are back with Supergirl. Last time on Supergirl, we had some attack on L-Corp.
Yeah.
Right? There was a attack on that facial thing, right? That covers up.
Oh, yeah. They hacked into it, and then everyone was outed, pretty much.
Yep. A lot of this season is being focused so far on alienating aliens. So we also had
the president leave office.
Yes. And Nia talking about her support for aliens and stuff, and how she's a transgendered woman. And and the last thing that happened was kryptonite dispersal into the air, and Supergirl started falling to the ground. So
an Agent of Liberty doing his little speech to increase the alien hate.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens with Supergirl falling, if she's going to make it, if she's going to die or what. But before we jump into that, we have a poll, which we have every episode. Polls we do over at patreon.com/blindwave. And our poll from last week was, do you think Kara will have to leave Earth, or will she be able to stay? 30% said she will have to leave Earth, and 69% said she will stay on Earth. Andrew says, I'd like a storyline where she has to leave for a bit. Could make for an interesting storytelling.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Fluxbuck says it's a temporary knockout, but she will stay. Chandler says she will stay on Earth, or at the very least leave Earth in orbit just long enough for something to be built to allow her to continue on Earth. Now, they had the same issue with lead dispersal in the air, and it stayed around for a long time to the point of where they had to get a cure for Mon-El to be able to survive in this lead-like air. So, it may not be the easiest to find a cure. Dobby says worst case is she'll go visit her Earth mom or some super DEO cell while everything is being sorted out.
Yeah. I like the idea that maybe Supergirl's going to have to out herself to Lena, so then Lena's the one that synthesized this kryptonite. Lena's the one that can find a cure for this kryptonite.
Yeah, that's true. William says leaving would change the status quo too much. If she does leave, it will be for only an episode or two, which is exactly part of what we were saying about, like, will she have to leave, much like Mon-El did, and even his was only like he had to leave for like a few episodes, because then we had him back from the future. So, and Malachi says she will stay on Earth and will probably be out of commission for one episode. P.S. Is it just me, or does Liberty sound like Leonard Snart? I don't know. I didn't notice it. I was sitting at one point listening to the voice, I'm like, man, the voice sounds familiar.
I don't know if they would do that with, because he was just in CW, Legends and Flash and everything.
And we haven't had him though for a while.
That's true.
He's been gone. He was on like last year as like a hit and miss. Like every once in a while, he could be on whatever show. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. They did have the same thing with Katie Cassidy, where she might be on this show or that show or whatever, and now she seems to be a regular back on Arrow. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens this season with Supergirl, if she stays, if she doesn't. Let's find out. We'll have a new poll at the end of this episode, so make sure you stick around for that, and our Q&As on Twitter that we do every week. So, uh-oh.
Oh, crap. Everyone's moving.
Crashed.
And the last known signal from her was in Nevada.
I'm on it.
Nevada?
Oh, he's gonna fly and help. He's gonna fly and help. Go, 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 go.
Is he?
Yep, here we go. Here we go. Marshman Hunter. Go!
Yay!
Ah. Save him, John. Save her.
Come on, Supergirl. Where are you?
John. You got her. Go! John.
I just
John.
can't
Yes!
I've got you.
How?
6 feet. He's 6 feet tall. Alright. I think we pick up right where we left off. It wasn't like, oh, she's in the cell or get hurt.
Yeah. I thought they were running because she had fallen, that they're trying to revive her.
Right.
We need to get her to a clean room stat.
I won't give up.
Oh, shit!
And I am doing everything I can to fight for you, but I can't do it alone.
2 years ago.
I need your help again. I need you.
That's whenever her aunt was. You know who that is?
Is that Jekyll Hyde?
It's Sam Witwer.
Yeah, him.
I was watching
He
that.
looks good.
I hate watching it.
George, Dad, I think it's quite enough.
Show that speech over and over again like it was the Gettysburg Address.
Dude, is he
Project
Liberty?
Maniac was
Is
weeks
that how we're
ago.
seeing him? You don't bring someone in that and they're just some random guy.
That's right.
That Steel is what paid for that fancy college education you seem to only want to use when you want to condescend to your old man.
Whatever he paid. Great?
Not so much. Listen, hey.
What the hell's going on here? We're not gonna let them kill this town, Ben. What? No. Plant them. What? No.
Flat.
It's just the way he looks. It's just the way he looks. It's okay. It's okay. Come in peace. Okay, let's just all calm down and be reasonable.
Oh, jeez.
He got hit. What? Did,
I didn't mean to.
Supergirl, just Alex, is that what we're all together?
old Alex.
Stay with me.
So you got him and lost him in 5 minutes.
Shut up.
Way to go.
Shut up, he's fine. Look.
He impaled my son with a freak spike.
I think you're talking about his biological defense mechanism.
Biological what? It was an assault.
What do you call this?
You guys were assaulting
True.
him. You were throwing
Yeah.
bottles at him and stuff.
Hey. People of Earth, do not be afraid. We come in peace. We have crossed a sea of stars in order to bring you a new
You're
home.
saying?
Not so bad yourself.
I have a feeling he's gonna have to lose his faith when they turn as much as he does. You know what I mean?
Shut up. It's probably right now. I don't like your theory.
Oh!
Is that Supergirl?
Is that Jean and...
Oh, it is Sean, isn't it?
Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there.
Get behind the car or something.
You're safe now.
The house on fire. Now they don't even have the house. Insurance should cover that though, right?
At least they're all out. Insurance is going to be dealing with everyone else's house, too.
Next question.
People have lost their homes. I'm sorry, it's been a hell of a week. Let me just blow your mind here, okay? Homeowners insurance. Did you know that it doesn't actually cover alien invasion? Who knew?
We
Really?
did because we covered that in our business section.
Right, and that's all the way in the back.
This isn't nativism. It's xenophobia.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised to hear that from someone with your complexion.
Honestly, after that crazy goth chick tried frying them all in their cells, they probably deserve a little furlough.
Oh, rain.
Yeah.
Do you know this guy?
I didn't say anything, but I'm not surprised someone did.
Oh, someone! Oh, absolutely, because I was so
losing
out of line.
it.
Look at
Yeah.
you. You're not okay.
Okay, I don't need your pity.
Hey, everything okay here? Yep.
Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about? She does. So,
We don't touch aliens. Actually, you know, we don't touch anyone, so why don't you keep your hands to yourself and
right in
watch
his
my mouth.
Got
Scar.
it. Yeah, Earth Trader.
Earth Trader.
Thanks for the backup. Yeah, anytime.
And for the record, definitely Beastie Boys.
I know it.
I love
Excuse me,
that.
sir, are you a concerned citizen?
I'll take one of those.
Ah,
Keep spreading the good word, brother.
Mercy Twin.
yeah.
Thank you.
Graves.
Oh no, is this the submarine? Wait, no.
No, let's.
What is this?
Ruby? Oh, no,
Fighting
her
Rain.
mom. Yeah.
No, he's gonna be dead, isn't he?
Dying.
Yeah.
Under.
He can't lift that.
Stand proud. You're a Lockhart. You're human. This planet belongs to you. Stand up and fight for what's yours.
Okay, Ben, listen, this isn't about your factory. This is about you and your family and your father's workers. Times are tough, and I wanted to set up a fund in your father's name.
absolutely not.
I'm just trying to help.
You work with the things.
Alrighty, no sloppy working. Safety first. I'll show you how it's done.
Safety first.
Look, there's people in here. Dang, it was a good
They got
throw.
good aim.
It's dangerous. No, I'm not. I'm a floor manager. You're not.
I actually met him once, and I thought, oh, this guy's soft, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is exactly what we need.
Who's this? The Mercy
Lena?
twins?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Mercy
Professor
Grave.
Lockwood.
How?
We're going to expose the president as a liar, a fraud, and an alien.
Read a little 4chan, do you?
I can understand why you wouldn't believe me, but can you imagine if we proved it was true? How that would change the world?
It's how like KKK started.
He uses his dad's steel plates to hide in. That's where they've been going back to and stuff.
Oh.
Yep, gave him the armor and everything.
Why do you always have to be right? Too much TV
I
here.
can't believe I didn't recognize his voice sooner, though. Man. I love this episode.
She's too weak.
Alex, if we try to take her off-world, she'll die.
What? So what do you
there
do?
must be something I can do.
There is, objectively, across the entire quantifiable universe, nothing you could do.
This universe. This universe. Quantifiable universe.
Then I need to ask somebody else for help.
The multiverse. Ask the multiverse.
Flash?
Oh, I'm gonna ask Lena.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where is she?
Whoa, look at that thing. Whoa.
That was awesome.
Just one more thing.
Damn it, Jensen.
What are you doing?
Tying up loose ends.
No, damn it. It's over. Alright, that's my favorite episode of the season.
We spent so much time in the past, and seeing correlating events. Like, we knew what was going on behind them.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Even though it's just like, here's how many years and whatever it's been, seeing the events of like, well, here's where they are in the timeline we saw already with Supergirl and whatnot helped. But like, this whole episode is just based on, number one, Sam Witwer is in it.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't recognize the voice. I was, not yesterday, last week during the episode, I was like, man, his voice sounds familiar. I don't know what it is. Like, I swear I know that voice. But at the same time,
It was muffled under the mask.
yeah, but at the same time, like, the voice of, like, Zoom was not the same person of who was under the mask. So,
True.
even if I would have thought of it, I probably wouldn't have been like, oh, maybe that's who's under there. But I love that that's what it is, because he's a great voice actor. He's done various voices throughout different series. He's in Star Wars. He's in all kinds of stuff. It's great. But the act of, like, going through and seeing his downfall, like, last season I thought had a good villain because we had a friend. We saw her being a mom. We saw her fighting this evil within her.
Oh, right,
you know?
yeah.
Like, we had more connection with, oh, well, I understand, you know, we don't want to kill her because of this. In this one, it's starting to give you more of a, you're sympathizing with the villain. You're seeing, like, man, look at all of the troubles and stuff they faced. Look at, he's lost his job. His dad lost his job. He's lost his house. No one seems to want to help. They all want to help the aliens. No one's helping the humans. No one's finding compromises. And it's, I don't know. It's done. I feel like it's done really well. And maybe I'm just biased because of Sam Witwer and I love Sam Witwer.
Yeah, you do.
But I feel like it was done really well.
You have an autograph from him.
Yes, I got to talk to him. If I had known he was going to be in Supergirl. I remember being like, I love everything you're in, from Star Wars to NCIS. And he was like, oh, because he was in like one episode of NCIS. Like, thanks.
And of course, I know him from Once Upon a Time because he had such a distinct character in Once Upon a Time. So it was like,
yeah, I need to watch that because you never told me he was in that.
And it's perfect for him because he does acting so well. Like, he starts out with this prim and proper, nice demeanor, and then you see him get all disheveled and like more disheveled and then crazy.
Yeah, you see the downfall.
Yeah.
And something that they did here in Supergirl that I really liked, the moments of seeing the destruction from the human standpoint, from the people on the streets looking, it would remind me of Batman v Superman whenever you have Batman looking at the destruction that happened in Man of Steel, whenever Zod and Superman were fighting, and you're seeing just buildings collapse and the people on the streets running, and he's running into this dust and smoke coming out. Like, it reminded me of that. Like, you see all the chaos of the buildings getting attacked and crumbling and streets are cracking and all this stuff's happening, and you see him running through the streets and people screaming. Like, it puts you right there. Like, I like that. It felt really good.
It did, but scary.
Yeah.
It just puts a whole new look in your mind. Like, you understand so much better.
Yeah.
And, like, seeing, like, John Jones fighting that Daxamite and then destroying the house, and then he's like, you guys are safe now, and flies away.
Yeah.
Like, even though he sees that the house is destroyed, he knows that he destroyed that house.
Yeah, but there's pressing issues, more Daxamites, whatever, some other things he's going to take care of.
Yeah,
which to us, we're watching, we're like, oh, good. He still that Daxamite, he's got to get the other ones, hurry up before more people die. But we're not thinking of, like, when a tornado comes through, well, you got to stop that tornado, but it's already destroyed stuff. But you've prevented it from destroying more, but maybe you don't go back and fix those,
But, like, Superman, like, that's in the back of his mind. He's like, okay, now I'm Clark Kent. How can I help save the world? Like, from the people standpoint. Mm-hmm. Versus here, like, the DEO, that happened 2 years ago or something like that. And they're not thinking, okay, let's help the community reconstruct after.
Here's what you do. You solve it by taking, all right, we have Supergirl and defenses to fight bad alien threats. Then we build an alien organization dedicated to fixing destructions of people and community. So you have that nth factory. Their job, instead of doing that, is to go back to that guy's house and fix it. And make their house better. And fix the problem with the alien threat. So now not only is like, okay, well, we have people defending us from aliens. I hate aliens. But the good aliens are helping the humans and everyone else fix what the problems are and stuff. Find some way of doing that. It might help make things a little bit better, but it's just hard because from a money standpoint, who would be financing that organization? Like, where are they getting their money from? Or is it a governmental thing? It's part of the defense of the government. We're like, well, it's part of the taxes. We put money into that to help take care of our country. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see what you mean, but I don't think that would help the prejudice.
I feel like it would have to.
Not as much as what you think it probably would. Like, like if the cartel came and shot up your family, and then you had people from the same area come and try to help reconstruct, you're still going to hold that grudge against everything that they stand for, Like, it's not going to help solve it. You're going to be grateful for what all they've done.
It's gonna be opening in the sense of you can't view everyone in a can. There's people that are on all sides of it.
His dad would be the same way. They have these such myopic minds that they cannot see anything except for like 2 inches in front of them. They don't understand the big picture. They see aliens, and all aliens are the same no matter what.
No, I mean, the problem is that you have nth metal. The nth metal thing was good. Okay, good idea. It helps. It's stronger. We can use it to make our country stronger and whatever else. But you're not looking at, like, I get the progress. The progress thing is something different, and they hate them because they lost their jobs. But, well, then you need to keep moving. Maybe you need to go into the nth metal industry. You need to go into something else and keep your business going because, like GameStop, they eventually had to move into more merchandise stuff and more digital content because things change and they can't stay as relevant dealing with just video games, just pre-owned disc-based stuff because so many people don't download stuff anymore.
Well, before GameStop, they were they EB Games? Is that what it was? Mm-hmm. So they had to develop into GameSop, and then they had to develop into download.
They got bought out, so they had to change that. But my point was that times are changing. You have to evolve as a business to stay relevant. That's why things like Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. It's like, what does Blockbuster do? Well, your next best bet would be to try to make some kind of Netflix type of thing to compete, but it doesn't work out, So, but the job thing, I don't think there's anything you do, and people are gonna be mad about that regardless. Which is the same thing with now of like illegal immigrants coming in, taking jobs and stuff. But does that mean the people that came here legally you need to hate on as well?
That's the stance that people of the KKK, the rebel flag, people like that, they're just, it's the myopic mind. It's just, because you're talking about the quote that Lena said, just because March of Progress doesn't mean that you have to be left behind, that there is a March of Progress. So, because I was following that too, but if you have this mindset, it doesn't matter. Yes, there is progress, but you have, someone that's in the older generation that does not like change. They just don't stand for change. Change takes too much energy. There's no reason for change if we already have this good product. So, they just don't progress. They don't change. So therefore they keep suffering. I understand it's not good and that they should change their mind and try to change, but it's just not in their mindset.
Yeah, but they'll die. But you don't want the others, the younger ones, or whoever else that are going to be growing up, have that same mindset. That son who was they were oh no, we don't do that, we don't talk like that. Mm-hmm. But eventually the whole family started going into that because there was nothing else disproving the one. But you need to have the disproving of what aliens are so that there's both sides being shown, which is why Lockhart went to Jimmy to talk to him about, put something in here about this, show both sides of the story, show this, don't bury it so humans aren't important. It was too showing that things were over. So the reason I was saying have some kind of organization ran by aliens to help communities that have been destroyed by aliens shows not all aliens are here to take away our jobs and destroy us and everything. This group was made differently just to help fix our stuff here, since we know insurance won't cover it and whatever else. But that son and that family over 2 years never got shown any positive things by aliens, right? At least what we saw of this, everything they kept seeing was alien factory being built. They saw aliens destroying their home, aliens destroying their city, alien attack killing his dad. But he never saw anything about aliens coming and being good, I guess. When, you should be walking on the street and you see, oh, look, that person's not trying to be spiteful or evil or anything. They're just trying to live their day-to-day life. Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe there's a way of trying to find something that could work with that.
It leads into his last quote there, his eulogy for his father, where he's quoting the "I never give in." Yeah. So, that's just basically screaming, this is who we are, no matter what. No matter if you create this wonderful organization made just by aliens to go around and do these wonderful deeds for everyone, never give in. This is where I stand, and I'm not going to change it. I believe that's his stance, and that it's going to be really hard to change it.
It is now.
Well,
right?
A lot of people die over
I know.
standing their point.
From the beginning of having aliens shown up, I think if they also would have worked towards compromises and not just having all aliens are welcome. There's no medium ground. Their fact of being someone who can lift 2 tons above their head is very different than just having a regular human that can't do that.
Yeah, but then we build machines, we grow, we change. And that we can make changes. We can try to use our brain to create something.
But what changes are made? That's the thing. They're not seeing anything happen to that. And it's not... I want to say it is his fault for his viewpoints, but it's not his fault. You know what I mean? He went after anyone he could find to try to find solutions.
Say what word?
Yeah, Ben? Okay. Ben Lockhart. He went for Lena, he went for... Jimmy, he went multiple places to talk because his dad was mad that all you do is talk, which is now what he does is he talks to people and he's pushing the anti-alien point.
Yeah, well, then he got active. He burnt down a building. He killed a couple of aliens. So he's been taking things hands-on. Yeah. Like his father would once.
Once he got with Graves and stuff too, it progressed much more. But it's just... It's hard to find that line of when could something have happened that this wouldn't have been the case? But
I don't.
It has to happen earlier on before the problem is as bad as it is. And even this season, Kara has been like, people don't hate aliens. Look at me, you know. Like, it's like, well, no, you saw that 6 months ago when you were worried about karaoke. It happens, and you didn't even notice or care then, you know.
Lena hates her guts as an alien.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think it's more Lena hates her as her, not as an alien. You know what I mean? I think she has issues with Supergirl and her personality.
Yeah, which is still Kara.
Well, yeah,
so
yeah, but it's not because she's an alien that she hates her, though. You know.
Yeah, but she hates the alien in her. She loves the human. She loves the human.
I don't think she hates the alien in her. I think she hates her like stance on kryptonite, which she views as like we can work on this and progress other things using this technology. You know, like Lena has plans scientifically for stuff, whereas Kara is like, this is how it's gonna be, and I'm Supergirl, and that's because of this. I don't think Lena hates her because she's Supergirl, hates her because she's an alien. I think Lena hates her because she's in this stance, which is going to be similar with Lockhart, where people are not going to like him because of here's his stance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nativist.
Yeah, the nativist versus the xenophobia. Is that what it was?
Xenophobic, yeah. Nativists have a fear of others. Xenophobia would just be a fear of aliens, I guess. I don't know.
I'm trying to think what Xeno is. I don't know if it's a Z or an X.
Xeno. It'd be xenomorphs are the alien creatures from Aliens. Xenoshift, you know, there's a game about aliens and stuff attacking. So Xeno's more, it means like alien.
Okay. So then, yeah, just fear of aliens. And nativists would be anyone that's from your area. So if they're not from your area, there's something new. So, but I did like how she brought that up, and that these aliens in his class are being strong enough to kind of stand up for themselves while they're being criticized and bashed by their teacher.
Yeah.
Like, that
Which wasn't a history moment, but...
Not really, but
I don't know. He was relating it to Ben Franklin, what he said about immigrations and stuff, but then there's like the comparison of how it goes now, and is it relevant, is it not relevant? There's some debate in there for that. But, no, yeah, I mean, could you imagine it being more of a modern kind of thing with talking about, I don't know, people from Africa, people from Mexico, people, anything like that, being like, people coming in, and it would just be like, you're not talking about nativists, you know, you're just talking about racism. You're just being racist, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be, I don't know. It was a very slippery slope, which I like being able to see his descent, you know?
Yeah, the spiral. Yeah, which he did a fantastic job with. I'm with you. I love Sam Witwer, but I hate him right now. Like, I hate him. Like, I understand, and that's what I wrote down. Like, I was losing it whenever the dad was dying, because even though he has this stance, like, that's still his father. That's still someone that he loves, and he's dying right in front of him. Like, it's a sad, emotional moment, and it's definitely one of his main turning points, like, where he completely flips, and he's like, I'm done. We are doing something about this now. But it doesn't matter. Even though I hated the dad, I hate Sam Witwer, I was still bawling for them because they're still human beings. Like, they're still people with emotion. And it killed me, but I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. The thing that I hate is that I can understand Ben Lockwood and why he's upset and why he's doing what he's doing. Like, on one side, like, I'm like, I wish you would do something different. But on the other side, it's like, I get why he's doing what he's doing. Yeah. He feels that they are legitimately destroying the country. But is there another way to go about it? And I feel like, well, he's tried other ways to go about it, and now he's going a drastic way.
Yeah. Which, I mean, his arguments that he was making
He should run for president or something. That's what he should do.
Yeah.
You know, the way he talks.
But the arguments that he's making, they're stuff that, ignorant people have made about immigrants coming in. Immigrants are taking our jobs because they are getting paid less, so therefore I don't have a job because these new people are coming in. These new people have different ideas, so we're shipping all of our jobs to a different country where they are because they have all these brilliant ideas. We suffer from that this day of a lot of his arguments from just human beings. And we still, our country, individual countries, still find a way to progress and get over it. So I'm just it's just such a backwards way of thinking that even though in this modern day that he thinks him as a human being cannot overcome this obstacle of new beings coming to this planet.
Well, what do you do?
I mean,
What do you do?
You grow, you change,
What do you do?
Well...
what does he physically do? Not you change. To what? What do you physically do to make it different? You know what I mean? It's not an easy answer, I don't think. To be you just make a new thing.
He was coming up with the icon of Guardian. Look at how Guardian can fight these aliens. He is a human being. He's just finding a way to change and overcome. I wish that he would take the fact that Guardian has been able to come up with this technology and use his brain to overcome the situations and apply it to himself and their life and fight for that.
Fight for what? So he's going to put on the suit and go fight aliens?
No, fight for that idea, not actually physical fighting.
Well, what idea?
The fact that you can use your brain over using weapons.
I still feel going about it that way will also still at the same time alienate. It still pushes an us versus them mentality. We can overcome. We can beat the aliens. You go into the speech. You go into the speech from Independence Day of we will prevail. Humans versus aliens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It needs to be more compromisey of.
Well, I mean, think about different companies. We have companies here in America that try to compete with Nintendo.
Yeah.
And we have to.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't do very well at competing, but they're trying to come up with new ideas and new ways. It's not we're going to defeat Nintendo. It's more of, hey, let's develop these new ideas and new creative thinking. What do we have that they don't have? So then we can come up with a better system, not F Nintendo. So I'm not saying that you have to have this fighting or horrible mentality about it. You can have the competitiveness. Just like in basketball, you can have competitiveness against the opposing team. You don't have to hate them. You don't have to vandalize them. You don't have to beat them. But you can think of new ways, think of new plays if you're doing sports. Think of new plays, how you can overcome over that team. And you are thinking, how is my team going to beat their team? Yes, that's competitive. That's what sports is all about. It's almost what life is all about. You guys are competing against other reaction channels, What are the new things that we can create to overcome them? I'm not saying you guys hate. Well, I mean, F the normies. But, I mean, I'm not saying that you guys hate them or vandalize them. But you guys have to use your brain to overcome. I'm just saying, stop being so myopic-minded and just open your brain, open your eyes, see what you can do instead of fighting. Sorry.
I'm just saying, not any of that ever had a togetherness of any sort. Everything that was mentioned from your standpoint of that, which I'm not saying I'm for them, let's fuck everybody, I'm important. What I'm saying is that none of what you just said was united. Everything was competition. Everything was against each other. It's how are we better than them? That's not what you want, especially in this scenario. You want united, not how are we better.
But
and that's what I think is the solution that they need to find with this, is how can the aliens and the humans be united versus how can we as humans be better than aliens.
I'm not saying that they...
You know what I mean?
I don't know if they even need to be united, because I don't think people with this mindset would feel comfortable being united and working as a team with each other. I'm saying that
that's how it should be. Everyone who's immigrated...
We can work and live in the same society and be amicable to one another. Like, you don't have to be united and stand by each other and hold each other's hand. But you can still be...
You do need to be that. If it's going to be we're the country, we are the United States, it should never be a divided thing. That's how you get things like the Civil War.
True.
That's how you get issues with racism and everything. It's about we're the people of this country. We are united. That's why it's the United States.
United we stand.
So that's what it should be. It should be that. But the question is, how do you get to that point with a new species coming in that also has evil, way overpowered than humans coming into it, trying to take over, trying to destroy, or trying to evolve the planet to their own new planet, you know? So I think the issue they have is that some aliens are coming in here just wanting to blend in and be part of it. But when you have ones, like for the job thing, and you have people who can take their strength or their speed or their flight to use it for job purposes, should they be able to do that? Or is that then pushing away humans? Or is there some other way of us being able to find a job for humans since they're being kind of pushed aside? Kind of the same thing of like having new technology now. Well, we need people less and less for certain applications in life because now we have technology that can substitute them. So now what can those people do? Well, now those people can run the technology, but what used to take 5 people to do this job now takes 1 person running a computer to do this job. So it's finding new jobs for people, but you're also having less jobs almost in the same fashion. So I wonder if in this universe, if they've taken time to look at that kind of picture. Because I know some companies and stuff now look like, well, I don't want to do this because I'm going to lose jobs here, and I want to be a place that we love our family and take care of each other, and I don't want us to lose jobs. You know, there's people that have been like, I know a local place that the boss could sell their business to someone who wants it, but they know that once they do that, they're going to make changes, and then people that work for him would have to lose their jobs, and it might be 50% of their employees that go.
Yeah.
So he chooses to keep it and keep going with what he's doing and make changes to keep those people, fed and clothed because he gives them a job. So I wonder in this universe and stuff like that, what kind of thoughts like that of well, now we have powered people coming in. Should we change up how the workforce has to deal with these, or do companies as a whole look at that? Because there's that difference of well, if I do stuff here in the U.S., that's where my main market is. People are going to buy stuff here. So should I be cycling the money back into the U.S. so that there's more money out there and I get it? Or should I send my jobs over here to Europe or Asia or whatever because I can save money? But now my money's going over here and it's not cycling back into the U.S. Mm-hmm. But I'm making more money because people are still buying my stuff. Some companies are no, let's keep it in America so that we can have that flow. And some people are no, I want to save money. Let's do this. So I just wonder, from a business perspective, it'd be interesting to have some kind of information from that standpoint to see what have people tried to do with what are we on season 4? For 3 years plus, because Superman's been around for how long?
14 years?
Yeah, how much time has there been of aliens coming to our planet? One alien, Clark Kent just blended in. He just came in, did stuff. He doesn't use his powers.
20-something.
He doesn't use his powers. Kara doesn't use her powers for her job. Well, I guess she does sometimes with when she goes in trying to see stuff and, listen to things and whatnot.
Keep coffee warm.
Yeah, little things like that maybe don't matter, but whenever you're going in and you need to get a report and you're oh, what I hear? Okay, I can listen to the wall that a normal person couldn't do. Or I'm going to use my information as a superhero to tell this story that no one else would have had because they weren't here. So, I don't know, should they be allowed to use their powers? Or is that alienating people because you're telling them they can't use their powers when they're working? I don't know. It's a very tricky situation as far as like trying to find a way of like how can this country be whole and together and working together and not hating each other. No matter what, you're always going to have people who are like racist or nativist or whatever, but how for the most part can you get people okay with it?
Well, that's what I was talking about, is getting people okay with it and then working on united.
Like the LGBT movement, like things are much more acceptable about that nowadays than what it used to be years ago.
Like whenever Ellen first came out, I think she was the first one to come out on TV, and there was huge, like I remember it, like I wasn't even allowed to watch, what was she, I forget the TV show that she was in, but we weren't even allowed to watch it anymore, like because that was, not acceptable. Like I remember my grandma talking about it, like it was either really little or it happened right before. I think I was really little, but like I just remember that being such a huge deal. Like my grandma was against everything Ellen, and now I'm for everything Ellen.
Yeah. I just mean like on TV, if you had someone on TV show or a movie, whatever, that was gay, like it was kind of like, oh wow, they're pushing it. And nowadays, like you have it, we had an episode we reacted to today that was a live show where there was a woman who just...
I'm your niece's wife.
It was just a nonchalant, I'm your niece's wife. I'm like, oh, okay.
And that's it. That nothing was shown, didn't meet the niece.
Yeah, but it was just said just because, like, well, guys, it's a fairly normal thing nowadays.
Yeah.
But back in the day, like, people, it was terrible and people made fun of people all the time. People still make fun of people nowadays for it, But I feel like it's much more widely accepted as a whole than it used to be. So how much time needs to pass before this is more widely accepted as a whole? Because you can tell, what was it, second episode? After the computer thing happened, and it went like viral, and with the president and all that kind of stuff, and they had the computer feed of seeing people on the dark web and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
You could see all these people coming too, which means that like they had their own... they were reserved, I guess, in their own thoughts of aliens and whatnot. But since that had happened, it burst out and they started voicing their opinions much more. Whereas some people may have not done that if it just stayed a little bit more calm. And it would be more of the extremists that were saying stuff and acting out. But as it becomes more natural and normal to hate on aliens or whatever, then that becomes what the norm is. And then once it kind of gets pushed aside, then you can kind of squelch it, and now you have like, this is the norm. We can accept people. We don't have to hate on X people, All right. That was a long one.
What about the kryptonite shield?
Dude, the suit.
Well,
the suit was
start out with the shield first, and then we'll talk about the suit. The shield just covered the symbol.
The S.
That's like I was thinking like something that would beam out and like shield her whole body or something, or like like a wrap around her body, or I don't know.
Well, the problem
something other than just the symbol.
The problem now too is like if they can't, I don't know if they can isolate kryptonite out of it. Like I'm curious how that suit worked, because what I'm trying to say is, if you have something contaminating the air everywhere, like, man, we need to build a safe, clean room without this contaminant in the air. How hard would that be to, like, let me build a box? Now it's in there already because I built a box in this contaminated area. Now I got to get it all out of that box. Like, what are you pumping in there to push that out? You know what I mean? Like, it would be so hard to pull that kryptonite out of the air. So I'm interested in, like they put a shield on her to try to stop it and it wasn't doing as much. But then Lena brought the other thing, the suit shield thing.
Well, I was wondering how that shield's supposed to protect anything.
It's just...
Because it's just...
They have little bubble things all the time, and lots of their stuff just fit on their chest. I don't know, it's weird.
And that's why I was like, what the heck? But then, yes, Lena brought in that suit, but they said it was vacuum sealed, so it was completely protected.
So, like, it's vacuum sealed inside the thing, so when it starts to go, then it has something...
It's already protected. It's already sterile. It's good.
What about the air? Where are they getting their air from, then?
Well, it's probably being filtered out. Like, you know how you have air purifiers? You have crappy air on the outside, and then you purify the air, and you get clear air in. So it's not like she's going to be stuck in the suit with no air supply.
Yeah. I love that, like, we didn't progress in the story much. You know what I mean?
Other than we found out who Agent of Liberty is.
Yes. But what I mean, from where we ended last episode to where we ended this episode, we didn't progress very much. But we got a lot more backstory on what's going on and why.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see next episode what they do, and is it going to be another episode without Supergirl?
I don't know. She has that cool suit, so maybe she can be completely functional with this awesome suit.
Maybe. I mean, they did discuss sending her out of the atmosphere, but they said she's too weak now to do it. But could she gain her strength in this suit enough for them to send her to, like, what was it called? Argon? I don't remember.
Argo?
Argo? Is that what it was?
Her mom's planet?
Asteroid place.
I think
Maybe
so.
they could send her to there or something, but hopefully Clark doesn't try to come back.
Come back?
Yeah, he's up in Argo.
Oh, yeah, visiting family. That's right.
It's a good thing they put him up there, or else he'd be, we gotta get Clark too, he's dying.
But that suit that she had in there, it was a Superman, Supergirl suit. Like it had the logo and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like colors and, like, did she make it or did...
I think she made it. She would have had to have.
So she made it to help save Supergirl.
She makes all kinds of stuff, though, for making that kind of stuff.
But save Supergirl, she doesn't, they butt heads
They
all
do,
the time.
they do. But like she said in this episode, too, with Alex, she's like, I appreciate everything she does. She's like, I do care. Like, she's never been against Supergirl, but she hates how she talks and stuff,
Yeah.
So...
Well, with how she's been with Lena,
yeah.
I get it.
I love seeing, though, like, she's like, I want to help. I want to make the world better. And, Supergirl is part of that. Like, I understand that. Whereas, like, you have, like, Edge and stuff like that, and he doesn't care. He doesn't want any of it, He just wants whatever benefits him. So.
Yeah.
It's a very neat suit. I like the way it looks.
Oh, that suit's awesome. And I hope that she's fighting in it,
I'm wondering why they chose to have a black visor glass thing.
Was it black? I thought it was white.
No, I think it goes all the way down to her boots and stuff, too.
Yeah, it does. It's awesome. Okay, and it stays black.
It's like Kamen Rider, or whatever it was, from Power Rangers. Also, the way the S shape is there, it's got like a white background to it and stuff. Yeah. It's really interesting. She reminds me, there's a character from Mass Effect, I think, that we have a pop-up. She reminds me of her.
It kind of reminds me of Captain America.
Maybe. But, like, that stuff was kind of like a weird nano, like liquid stuff kind of rolling around. I wonder if it kind of takes what it's going on and looks like that, maybe? Or if that's what that thing looks like once it's fully out, Because, like, it went down to her boots. Like, that logo's different. Went down to the boots are just a red. They're like a brighter red or something, I think, too. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. The suit's really neat. I think it's really cool. I'm interested to see what happens with that. How much strength will she have? Will she be able to do flying and all that? Because can she get sunlight through this?
I don't know. Like you said, it's a black shield. That's why I thought it was white, so then it could allow some of the UV light, from the yellow sun come in.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to be I don't know if she's going to have powers in there, or if she's just going to, she's going to walk around in that and you can't tell.
There's no way that she can...
Yeah, you could turn off the lights, she wouldn't know. Hey, who turned off the lights?
There's no way that she could laser eye, what is it?
Heat vision?
Heat vision? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no way that she could do that through there.
Yeah, well, I don't know. So, and then they were also going to kill Jensen, was the last thing I had.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
I thought it was interesting that Sam Witwer was fighting for them not to.
Well, they want to get back into the DEO too, so what's that going to mean?
Which is fine, but I think that was a last minute thing that popped in his head to save the kid's life.
Maybe.
Because it felt like, no, you don't need to kill him because he's human.
Well, no, he didn't say you don't need to kill him. He says you don't need to kill him here.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So what else could he be wanting to do? Why would he want to come into the DEO? Or is it try to find Supergirl and finish her off? I don't know. There's a lot of alien stuff there in the DEO, so it would be a good place for him to go to send a message. Yeah.
Let's see. He was a teacher. I did like Sam Witwer's conversation about the whole progress thing that we talked about earlier, but who paid the price for that progress? So just a quick mention to that too. Because, I mean, he's right. That's what our whole conversation was about.
Yeah. Well, I liked his comparison, too, of like, we came here and there was progress from Britain and Spain or, other countries that were coming to the U.S., but it wasn't progress for the Native Americans.
Yep.
Like, when it first started, they were trying to trade and do stuff like that, but eventually it got really bad. So.
Yeah, Trail of Tears. But, no. How would you feel if you had to save the kids and all of us during a huge battle that's going on outside? A huge battle of something that you don't even understand. Like the Daxamites in this situation.
Yeah. It was a good thing he was already trying to get them out of there and go somewhere else. They would have just crashed in the house and they could have lost everything. Had no food, no nothing.
Yeah, but they just stood there and watched them fight. Like, didn't drive off, didn't do anything. Like, I would have shoot everyone in the car and get the hell out of Dodge, Like, they just stood there and watched. Like, what would you do? Like, there's no way I'd let our children just stand there and watch. Like...
I don't know, with ours right now, like, how long would it take them to get into the car? Would it be better if we just took cover or ran away rather than trying to, like, load them on the car?
But they just stood there and watched. They didn't even take cover behind the vehicle for the random gunshots that were going off or anything like that. Even you were like, who's going to die? Is that why he turns? Because the whole family's going to die right now?
Well, not right then, but yeah. I figured someone was going to die in order for that. So that he still has his wife and son then, as of right now.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they know what he does. I wonder how they feel about what he does. Because the mom was a big, like, proprietor of, like, we don't talk like that in the house, So...
But no, it put it in a scary situation that made it just real, like, what if that was our family, like, would we be prepared? Would we have enough food to keep us in the house without running water or anything? And just put it in, like, the apocalyptic view. Apocalyptic.
All right. On that note, I think we should jump into our Q&As and see what you guys all thought about this episode.
A pop?
I think you're good, babe. I think you're good.
I know. How do you spell it?
Apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic.
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Like the character?
I'm getting my other P.
It's not like a soda pop-alyptic. Lover Sashimi says, has there been anything that your parents tried to ingrain into you? And Pepsi Queen says, do you have something in common with your parents that you used to not have before?
So something that they grind into us.
Not grind. No, nothing. Got nothing.
Acceptance and cooperation. There was 5 of us, so...
Yeah.
Like, we had to cooperate. We had to work together and support each other to do anything. Like, so it was always working together as a team.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely team building.
I don't know if I'm very similar to my parents.
Your dad.
Mm.
And the horrible jokes.
Hey. His jokes were dumb. Mine are good. Okay?
Oh, yeah, because they're so different.
They are. Very good. Red says, have you ever experienced progress that has it had a negative side effect?
Oh, definitely your guys' YouTube channel with progress there. And probably the negative side effect would be that all your Patreon supporters are now supporting you instead of maybe a previous channel that they were supporting. So therefore, more money's going towards you and less money's going towards other reactors.
Maybe. I was going to say working on the channel and having like progress on our channel growing and everything like that, which was good. The negative side effects was like home life. Like time spent with kids and helping with stuff at home and taking care of other things. So I was spending a lot of time working on the channel.
See, I would relate that more to my job, like how I was working and going to school and progressing through school.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely took away from family. But other than that, not too much negative comes from education.
So Davi says, the execution wasn't perfect. I feel like he went a bit too fast to murder. But I appreciate that they made a gradual transformation for our villain. I expected him to have a steel mask in memory of his father. What did you think of the evolution? Too fast, too slow?
he was drunk whenever that was going on, so that kind of helped influence, and it was right after the loss of his father. So...
And you also had the alien that started it all that also attacked him and stuff too.
Yes.
And it's also over the course of 2 years. So, sure, the show only had 40 minutes, and it seemed quick, but there's also the effects that we didn't see of how he... You know, we kind of jumped in every once in a while, like, okay, how far has he gone now? What's he like at this point? What's he feeling here? And we saw big moments of him talking to some of our bigger characters and stuff too. So, I feel like in 2 years you could change a decent bit, especially with a lot of things happening like that to you. So I don't feel like it was too fast in the timeline of what the show is showing, but I think, like, I can see where you could say it feels too fast given, like, well, in 40 minutes he just turned into a cool guy to a murderer.
Yeah,
so
definitely. But he had the whole family background too, so 2 years, nothing for what all he changed.
Mm-hmm. Adrian says, now that you know the big named actor playing the villain, I wish he was bigger named. Like, not enough people know Sam Witwer. Do you think he'll be the villain for the whole season or half of it, like how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does seasons? I hope he's for the full thing. Although he doesn't have the superpowers, but it seems a bit more like, let's think out how we're going to do this and cause major problems for Supergirl. And the great evil is not just me, but racism, alienism from the people that she doesn't want to hurt. Mm-hmm. Which I think can be a terrifying thing. And so far, I think every season for Supergirl has always been like, here's our villain, here's the story we're telling, you know?
Well, before it was like, here's the villain at the beginning, and then we hit lots of other random things, and then here's that villain that you met at the beginning, and we're going to end our season. But now we had the villain at the beginning, but we also had the Russian Supergirl at the beginning. We haven't seen Russian Supergirl. I think she's going to be hit at the end. And then we're going to finish up the storyline towards mid-season finale.
Yeah, maybe. You could also maybe tie them together to being well, here's the Russian Supergirl, and we need Liberty to help us. Like, how is she working right now? Does she have a kryptonite issue?
I don't know.
Like, is she dying, you know?
Like I said, I don't know anything about opposite Supergirl.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though, right? If she is like
she
a clone or something.
Yeah,
like...
if she's a clone, then definitely she's suffering. But if she was created in, like, a lab, then maybe they got rid of the kryptonite factor.
Yeah. Curiosity Kitty says, if it got so bad, do you think the Legion of Superheroes would come back with some tech to save or clean up the atmosphere?
Oh, yeah. That would be awesome. Win! Yes! Yes, that's what's going to happen.
An episode Win came back. We had a mention of Win.
Yes, we did. And almost made me cry. I miss him.
Lover Sashimi says, if you were an alien, what type of defense mechanism would you want on or in your body to protect yourself when you feel threatened or in danger?
Gecko camouflage.
My dick just gets erect.
Sorry, that happens.
You wouldn't want to mess with somebody. Oh, what the hell? Fucking never mind. I ain't gonna rob you. Getting turned on? It's fucking weird. You just leave. Imagine you're gonna punch somebody, all of a sudden he just has a hard dick. You're like, oh fuck, what? Gonna mess with you. It erects and grows like triple in size. You're like, oh god.
Your poor wife.
It's a defense mechanism. Don't threaten me, okay?
No S&M in the bedroom.
Or do threaten me. There you go. That works. There's multiple uses for that. Chicken Noodle Soup says, sorry if this is too morbid, but if you were to choose a place to die, where would it be?
Oy vey.
Like the father in here, it's like, I want to die here. This is my home, my steel factory, you know? I don't know, I guess.
And like heroes, they want to die in battle because that's what they do. You know?
Vikings.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess at home. But then Melanie, like if I died, Melanie wasn't dead yet, she'd be afraid that I'm gonna haunt the house or something.
Oh, we'd move, yeah. Your ghost can stay there.
Like hopefully you die first, and then we can still live in our house. Because if I died first, you'd be like, gotta get out. Your dad died. Told him I was gonna stab him. Now we're gonna have a vengeful spirit. Because you killed me.
Yeah, hopefully whenever I die, it's either dying by fighting fighting to save the kids or something.
What?
Or like somehow.
Just pick a location, woman.
Or just dying in my sleep. So wherever I fell asleep that night.
Wherever you fell asleep that night.
I fall asleep in random places all the time.
Bed, the car, the ditch. All right. Dip says, do you think the other Supergirl is also out because of the kryptonite, or maybe she'll have a more resistance to it like Rain did? Possibly. It could be something along those lines. Like they had different like resistances and stuff like that.
That's true, because kryptonite still affected Rain.
Mm-hmm.
But it had to be like injected into the bloodstream or something.
Maybe there's a different. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, she was underground, so maybe she's kind of protected, but they gotta have air in there. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna work. Not sure. And I Heart Caramel says, did you ever have a moment in your life where you snapped or maybe reached your breaking point?
Every day with the children.
No, probably my closest thing is either the fight I had in 5th grade from the bully, and I actually had a fight, or like me and Melanie sometimes like things would just build up and then we'll just fight. So those are the only things I can think of. We need to get back into karate so that we can
take our anger out on the bag.
No, I was gonna say so that we can grapple on mats. It's safe. All right, guys. That's the last Q&A. We don't have anything else then for now. We need to do a poll before we end this episode. We'll talk about it next episode. But what do you think of Liberty's backstory? Does it give you more of a sympathetic nature for him, and you sympathize more for this character, or it was a good story and but you still like you don't sympathize with him at all now? Or maybe you don't like the story at all. I'll give you like 3 options. Like the story, sympathize with him. Didn't like the story, don't sympathize with him. Like the story, still don't sympathize with him. Because I don't feel like you didn't like the story, but you sympathize with him.
So what about you?
I enjoyed the story and I do sympathize with him more. Like I feel more of like why he's at his point. I get his progression to why he's doing what he's doing. Whereas like I know first episode, second episode is like, come on people, quit, leave the aliens alone. They're just trying to blend in and be good and stuff like that. Which while that's still true, I've seen more of like how the humans are trying to survive in this new world and all the hardships they're coming to, and they just want answers. They want to find a way through all this, and they've got no answers,
Yeah.
So
I have to say I don't. Like, he's a teacher. I think he's smarter than this. And that just the fact that he fell into this, and yes, he had horrible circumstances that brought him to it, I still can't sympathize with him. Like,
okay. So there we go. So did you like the story then?
I love the story. Oh
all
my
right.
gosh, yes.
So like the story, sympathize. Like the story, didn't sympathize. And let us know if you don't like the episode and you also don't sympathize. So make sure you guys go over to patreon.com/blindwave and we will discuss the poll in the comments there. And then we'll also have our Q&A next week. Make sure you guys do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys later. Make sure you guys also subscribe so you don't miss any of our CW Universe stuff coming out. We try to do those the day after they air and get them up as quickly as we can. So make sure you watch out for that. More things coming from me and Melanie, as well as the rest of the crew, every day right here on Blind Wave. And the poll you can find over at patreon.com.